The year is 3157. Humanity, once a burgeoning force in the galaxy, now clings to survival. The Sithrex dominion, an empire of biomechanical alien races, has waged a brutal campaign against humanity for over a decade. Outposts have fallen, colonies obliterated, and Earth itself has been reduced to a shadow of its former glory. What was once a thriving blue-green beacon of life is now a scorched, lifeless husk, its orbit littered with the remnants of a shattered fleet. Only one stronghold remains, Dreadspire. Carved into the jagged peaks of Juno 4, a barren world rich in Tritium X, Dreadspire Fortress is the last bastion of human resilience. Its towering walls and energy shields are a testament to human ingenuity, a fortress forged from desperation and sheer will. Within its walls, soldiers and civilians alike prepare for what may be their final battle. Children huddle in makeshift shelters, clutching worn toys, while their parents share whispered prayers. Scientists and engineers labor around the clock, their faces etched with exhaustion as they try to stretch limited resources to their breaking point. Above them, the stars offer no solace. The Sithrex fleet looms like a malevolent storm, its dark, organic ships pulsating with ominous energy. The end is near, but humanity has not yet conceded defeat. Dreadspire stands as a defiant beacon, a flame refusing to be extinguished. Captain Erin Valros stood atop the eastern battlements, her steely gaze scanning the horizon. Her dark hair was tied back, revealing a face hardened by years of war. The air was thick with tension, the ground trembling beneath the advance of the Sithrex war machines. Behind her, the fortress bustled with activity technicians calibrating defense systems, medics tending to the wounded, and soldiers readying their weapons. The distant rumble of enemy engines was a constant reminder of the looming threat. "Status report," she barked, her voice cutting through the chaos. Lieutenant Rowe, her second in command, jogged up, his expression grim. "Enemy forces are less than 50 clicks out. Scanners show multiple behemoth-class walkers and at least 100,000 infantry units. They've also deployed aerial units and siege platforms." Valros nodded grimly. "And our defenses?" "Operational, but stretched thin. The Tritium X reserves are nearly depleted. If we lose the shield generators, we won't last an hour." She clenched her fists. The fortress's shields and weapons relied on Tritium X, an energy-dense mineral harvested from Juno 4. Without it, they were as good as dead. "Order all non-combatants to the lower levels," she said. "And have the engineers prioritize shield maintenance. We hold this line." Rowe hesitated. "Captain, if we can't." "We will," she snapped. Dismissed. As Rowe turned to relay her orders, Valros allowed herself a moment to stare at the horizon. The first glimmers of dawn painted the jagged peaks in blood-red hues. She drew a deep breath, steeling herself for the storm to come. The Sithrex assault began at dawn. Behemoth walkers, towering constructs of metal and flesh, marched forward, their plasma cannons leveling everything in their path. Swarms of insectoid shock troops followed, their shrill cries echoing across the battlefield. Above, aerial units darted through the sky, their sleek forms bristling with weaponry. "Hold the line," Valros shouted over the din of battle. Human soldiers fired energy rifles from the battlements, their beams cutting through the advancing hordes. Automated turrets unleashed a torrent of firepower, mowing down wave after wave of attackers. The fortress shook as the behemoths unleashed salvos of plasma, their blasts slamming against the shield with bone-rattling force. "Captain." Rowe's voice crackled over the comms. "We've lost the outer shields. Redirect power from the secondary grid," she ordered. "And get me a strike team. We're taking the fight to them." Moments later, Valros stood with 6 soldiers at the eastern gate. Each carried EMP charges and wore stealth cloaks designed to mask their heat signatures. They exchanged grim nods before slipping into the chaos beyond the walls. Navigating the rubble-strewn battlefield, Valros and her team moved like shadows. Their target, a Sithrex command node, a grotesque fusion of technology and organic matter that coordinated the enemy's movements. "Eyes up," Valros whispered, her voice barely audible over the distant explosions. "We've got hostiles patrolling ahead." The team paused, letting a group of insectoid troops pass by. Once the path was clear, they advanced, planting charges on the command node's power core. The explosion that followed was deafening, a shockwave rippling through the enemy ranks. "That'll buy us some time," Valros said, a rare smile touching her lips. "Let's move." Back at Dreadspire, Valros revealed her ace in the hole, the Hellstorm Protocol. A network of orbital kinetic bombardment satellites, the protocol could turn the tide of battle. But there was a catch. "The system requires manual activation from the command center," she explained. "It's a one-way trip." Silence fell over the room. Finally, Ro stepped forward. "We'll hold the line, Captain." "You've done enough." Valros shook her head. "This is my responsibility. I won't ask anyone to do what I'm not willing to do myself." The Sithrex deployed their ultimate weapon, the Omega Warden, a towering war machine capable of leveling mountains. Its arrival cast a shadow over the battlefield, its footsteps shaking the ground like an earthquake. "This is it," Valros said, donning her armor. The suit's advanced systems hummed to life, its reinforced plating gleaming under the harsh light of battle. Her team launched a daring assault on the Omega Warden, infiltrating its colossal frame. Inside, they fought through waves of Sithrex defenders, planting explosives on its critical systems. One by one, her team fell, their sacrifices carving a path to victory. With seconds to spare, Valros activated the Hellstorm Protocol. From orbit, kinetic projectiles rained down, obliterating the Sithrex forces in a cataclysmic display of power. The Omega Warden collapsed, its massive frame crumpling under the barrage. Dreadspire was saved, but at a heavy price. The fortress lay in ruins, its once imposing walls reduced to rubble. Valros barely escaped the Omega Warden's destruction, her body battered and broken. Medics worked frantically to stabilize her, their faces pale as they assessed her injuries. In the aftermath, survivors gathered around Valros as she was carried back into the remnants of Dreadspire. Despite her injuries, she managed to speak, her voice weak but unwavering. "We've shown them that humanity doesn't break. We endure. And as long as we stand, we fight." Her words ignited a spark of hope. Though their numbers were few and their resources depleted, humanity had proven their resilience. Dreadspire became a symbol of defiance, a reminder that even in the face of extinction, humanity could rise again.